Hey guys, welcome to a new video. So we're going to be doing something a bit different today again, as that we're going to be looking at some D3, specifically this chart that we got over here. So what we're going to try and do is get some on hover effect for the mouse so we can see the actual values at these points, and then also try to get some sort of coloration at the bottom of the graph over here. So to give you a bit of context, this is kind of a Bitcoin pricing application. It just kind of tracks the price of Bitcoin, and then at the moment also tries to predicts the next price using machine learning. And you kind of guys can see it's a kind of a bit behind. So I've got this kind of running in a different environment where it's a bit more up to date. But at the moment we're just going to look at this chart over here, and what we currently have here in terms of data is more than good enough for that. So to give you a kind of idea, we go to PHP Storm over here. We're going to get this LineChart VueJS component. It accepts some data and then it just draws it out using D3. So we are going to look at how to extend this component to be able to also deal with the area under the line, and then also on mouse hover. So let's start googling, I think. So let's see, D3 area under line. Okay, so let's see, we get to blocks. So blocks is a very cool kind of resource for D3. So we kind of get this D3.area, and then we are going to try and I think use this for what we want to do here. So let's see, so we get the kind of looking for my line over here, D3 const, and then we get a path over here. So let's see, let's make that a const. That is not going to be, that's going to be close. The height is going to be, I think, this dot height, and the D. Okay, so what we're trying to do now is just kind of get the JavaScript to be a bit more TypeScripty, and then also kind of try and do this one. Make sure we don't make a mess of the formatting. Okay. Okay, so now we get the area. So now what we also probably need to do is we probably need to set some sort of attribute for it. But let's first see of how do we actually append it to the 2D3. So if we got the body, we append SVG, and then we append data. So let's see, we're gonna get this area over here. Okay. Let's put this underneath here. Let's see what happens if we try this. Okay. So we're getting something. It's not quite what we're looking for. So D3 area, height, value, body append with margin. So this gets a CSV data. This kind of just transforms the data into something a bit more friendly for D3. This gets the scale for it, append the path for the area, and then the path for the line. Let's see what the line value says. So line is that and that y.0 is the height, which seems correct. So let's see, so the y that we get here is scale linear from range 0 to what we looking for is this value for y. So y is a linear scale. It's the domain, it's the minimum value, that's the maximum value. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, so there we go. Let's see what happens if I try this. So at the moment we've kind of get that as some sort of linear line. So what I'm actually going to try and do is I'm going to try to just hard code this for a second. I want to see what happens if I try to do this. Let's also try to see what the actual values are in Vue. So Vue, LineChart, and for LineChart, so let's put as a data property. So then we can see it over here. So width 120 and then height is 150. So from what I would kind of expect is that the 0 for the area. Okay, so that is the height. Let's see what we get over here. Ah, we've been filling our online, not our area. Okay, so let's make this blue. I'll try and make that a blue. Then what I also need to go back to is this dot height over here, make that this dot. Okay, so somehow we are getting an issue. So, error in callback data cannot be property only document of null. So let's see what happens, what data we have over here. So, Let's see what happens when we put the line up here. So, same problem. Okay, so let's see. So we got this parsing that we probably need to duplicate up here, where we define our area. So that, I'll probably put some semicolons in. Let's see what we get now. Let's see what happens when I try this. Line, so let's see. So same problem. Okay. At the moment this isn't very helpful either. See. Just kind of curious, what's our data look like? Expectation would be that all the closing prices are correct. Maybe it's this value. Let's see what happens. Cool. Okay, so we got some error. Doesn't look very pretty, but we at least get some sort of value at the bottom. So let's make this full also none for now and see what happens when we try this. So we get no for whatsoever. Okay, so let's see what we get here. So for current, then let's see if we can do. Okay, so that's see if okay, so not quite what we're looking for. Let's see what happens if I try to put this in the none down here. And then just try to drop that. Okay. So funny values basically. But we probably adding it again to the path of the instead of the purple, and then 300 assuming. Okay, and then we probably need to do drop the purple over there as well. Okay, that looks interesting. Probably want to do 100 over there, see what that looks like. Okay, so what we're going to try and do here is we're going to try to grab purple 100 for the background. What we're going to do is grab the background color. So the background color is that. Then we're going to go down here, go to our area. I'm hoping this works. Okay, so we got that. Okay, so maybe do something different. So we go tailwind colors and then purple. Because what we're looking for is probably a deeper purple. Okay, so good red, good orange, good yellow, green. Got some teal, we got some blue, we got indigo. And then looking for that X value. Okay, that looks a bit interesting. Okay, maybe let's try the 200. See if we like that one more. Okay, I like this. I really like. Okay, so next thing what we need to do is we need to look at D3. We need to look at LineChart, and then we look at mouse over. Okay, so let's see what we get. Okay, go to blocks again. Okay, so legends are for those things. Not that interested in the legends for this. For each extend, legend selects all, append, SVG, text. So remember correctly, the mouse over should be on the text. Nope. Mouse. Okay, mouse over effects. Okay, this is probably a bit more of a complicated one that we're looking for, because we're just looking for very simple mouse over effects. Again, maybe a bit complicated. Okay, so this is a little bit simpler. Okay, so let's see what we get here. Okay, for the axis, for the left and the right, which we don't have for this. Got the line over here, we've got a pen, so that looks like puts the pasta, D, domain, append, G, pen, circle. So I'm assuming all this focus stuff is for the mouse. Okay, and then it looks like they're using some sort of mouse overlay. Okay, so we're probably going to need this stuff for what we're trying to do. So this is going to be our SVG. This is going to be our width, and this is going to be our height. SVG over there. Set up. Okay. So we're probably going to try to make this into anonymous function, I think. See what happens. that's correct. I don't know what bisect data does. Fix up that. Don't want to bookmark it. Okay, so this is some other stuff we need for the so let's see what's this. Okay, so let's try this for now. Okay, let's see what happens. Cannot read format of undefined. So I'm assuming there's going to be like an npm d3 time package that I need to install, and there is. So need to grab this. So let's see. Go to clipboard. I'm gonna save to dev, and then we wait for this to install. So let's see if they got any sort of documentation about exactly how to use this. So far, not so much. Okay. Okay. Let's see. So it looks like something we did broke D3. So we kind of need to go back one and see what happened. Then we also need okay. Where's the date formatter? Okay. That's going to be the closing price, not the. That's going to be bucket. That's going to be bucket, and that's going to be closing price. That's going to be bucket. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, so let's see. Close, oh, wait, still display, still none. I'm also quite curious what happens if I add it to a line. Okay, so we get this node get round is not a function. So let's see what this means. No function. So something to do with the mouse. So D3 mouse U3.event. That. Okay. These are actually all individual variables. So it's maybe define them as such, so it's a bit easier to understand what we're doing. That we get. Okay. So let's see what we get. So attribute transform expected number. So let's for now look at like 0 maybe. Okay. Then what I also need to do is for the, this is my area, add the line, okay. So for the date, not interested, tooltip likes, okay, so somewhere in here, somewhere needs to be something that sets formatter. Let's see where this gets set. Class. Okay, okay. Tooltip that, not really interested in. Not really, because all we're looking for is just displaying the price, so there's also circle, not really interested in. Then I think a rect we're not interested in either. Okay, so now we get the price. So you can see that the price at the moment gets set based on the but not on the point that we're actually on. So we need to kind of figure that one out. So what we're going to try and do, maybe wrap that in a moment to see what happens if we're trying this. Okay. Because remember somewhere over here that we set the okay there we set the translate to naught. So what we try to do now over here, and then we can probably try and remove that rectangle as well. Okay, so now we got some sort of value, but I want to because at the moment the kind of the problem by the looks of it is that it jumps to the point next to it. I'm kind of assuming they did it to make it look a bit nicer, but what we want to do is, let's see if we try and do this, what happens. So that looks like that point, that point, that point, that point. Okay. I think another thing that we can try to get back from this one is the circle. So let's try and put the circle back. The reason why we want to try and put the circle back is to kind of get a bit of better highlighting on the point that we're actually on. So let's see. So actually, because there was a focus around here, some, there we go. Okay. So I'm wondering, is it now focus points this? No, I think maybe worth doing. Try to see if we can put this on the area as well. See what happens. So I can kind of get the price as it goes down and up again. Let's see, bisect left, number low, high. Oh yeah. I just want to see what this does. Trying to do now is want to see what happens if I try to set this point over here, the leftmost point. Okay, weird things. Not exactly what we're hoping for. I'm trying to grab something back from here that I changed, and that would be this function. See about okay, so refresh one thing. It says bucket of undefined. Ah, okay. So if do 0, then do that. Else do 0. Equals. because at the moment D0 isn't defined, so D0, it needs to be just D1. Man, probably need to define D0. Okay, so let's make that the default. Let's put this as a let so that we can change it. If D0 is defined, take away the thing so it doesn't loop scope. Okay, so let's see what this does. So I can just kind of get there. That's going to have to be a fix for another time. So there. Okay, but one thing that kind of still bothers me is this text that's so far to the right. So let's see where we're adding our focus text. Okay, so this is our, let's see what that is. I'll actually make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so that text we can actually, because we're not, okay. So the text, I actually want to make it a little bit to the left, and I actually want to make that on top of the, okay, a lot to the left. Not that much. Okay. More or less exactly what I want. So you can hover over it, get a sense of what the price was for a particular time, and we kind of get a nice area under the line color. And with that, I'll leave you. Until next time, hope you have a nice one. Bye.